Today we will see basics of IoT networking, which are various components involved in designing of IoT network that we are going to cover here. The very first thing, device or the things in IoT, which is very basic and very useful component in case of designing of IoT network. That is your what? Device or things. The devices or the things in your IoT can be any physical object, any physical thing that we need to be included in a IoT application. That will be your what? The device, IoT device, or it will be your the things in IoT. Second one is local network. The local network can be treated as your IoT network. That local network will be responsible for connecting various things or various objects together, due to which one device can generate the data and that data will be transferred to another device with the help of that particular local network. So the responsibility of local network will be to establish the communication or to establish the connection between various devices or things in your IoT application, which is very important part of your IoT networking. It is one of the important component. Then next is your, obviously internet is required. Internet is very important. Again, it is one of the important part due to which we are going to transmit data from IoT application to server or your IoT application to cloud. For that purpose, you will be requiring internet. Internet is responsible for transmitting data from IoT application to cloud or IoT application to server. Then next component is your various services. Those are your treated as backend services. So these services are responsible for giving some inputs or giving some additional information to data generated by these devices with the help of your local network. And these services can be like data analysis, data security if you want to give, then all those kind of services can be given with the help of your what? These backend services in your what? IoT application or IoT networking while designing your IoT application. And last component is IoT application itself. Whatever IoT application is going to be designed, that IoT application can be the part of your what? Or it will have these devices, local network, internet, services, everything will be there in your IoT application. And at the end, this IoT application will be developed or it is designed. So these are some basic IoT components that can be used for designing IoT application. And those are very important in case of designing of your what? IoT application that needs to be considered while implementing any of the IoT application. Then if we are considering about IoT, which states that Internet of Things, and the name itself consists of internet, because without internet you will not treat it as an IoT. If there will be no internet, then it will be treated as your embedded system. But when you involve internet in that particular embedded system, then it will become your Internet of Things. So we must aware about the structure of internet while implementing or while designing any of the IoT application. So for internet infrastructure, there are three important components. Number one, internet address. That internet address is nothing but every device has its own unique address. Whatever devices we are going to connect in your internet, all those devices will have their own unique address that we are calling as IP address. Those addresses of the internet are in the form of, this will be the format of your IP address, where A will range from 0 to 256. That means 0 to 255, total 256 will be there. This is what your one of the important component of your internet, which will be useful for identifying each and every component connected to the internet. The second, this is what the structure of your internet or IP address will be. There will be one device. This is another device. This device will have this IP address and another device will have the IP address like this. Both these devices will going to transmit the data to each other. Either this will send the data and this will receive, or this will send the data and this will receive, or vice versa. This can be possible due to your internet, and internet will going to recognize these devices on the basis of this IP address, because every device in your internet will have unique IP address. Remember this, every IP address will be unique. There will be no repetition of any kind of IP address. So every IP address will be unique, and it will be, all the devices in your internet will be identified with the help of this particular unique IP address. Then second component is protocol stack and packets. Protocol stack and packet will be your second important component of your internet infrastructure out of three components. It is the convergence of alphanumeric message into digital form, and again from digital form with internet service provider communication mediums help is done by providing various layers. There are various layers. Those layers will going to generate the digital data, and that digital data will be converted into different packets, and that packets will be sent over the internet to another device, and this can be done with the help of various layers. So which layers? Those layers are your application layer, TCP layer, IP layer, hardware layer, and so on. So this will be one application. The data will going to generate at this application layer. That data will be transmit to your TCP packet. Then TCP packet will going to have that IP address. IP address will be of your hardware. Every hardware will going to have unique IP address. So whatever data is going to be generated, that data will be sent to the another device, another computer through your internet. That internet will going to transfer this data from one system to another system. Another system will going to receive that data from the internet. Then this will going to have some unique IP address again. This unique IP address will going to open that data using your TCP packet, and that data will be visible at this application. So data will be transmit like this from one device to another device with the help of your these different layers of your internet infrastructure. So this is what your second important component of internet structure. Third one is your complete infrastructure. Whatever infrastructure we are going to use for developing your internet structure, that complete infrastructure will be the important part of your internet. It is the framework of internet consists of multiple interconnected large networks. Always remember, internet will be formed with the help of connecting different networks. So the name itself suggests that internet, that is your internetworking. So large networks or different networks are connected with each other to form your internet. Those large networks are called as your network service providers, that is your NSPs. Each of the NSP needs to be connected to 3 network access point. Every NSP will be connected to 3 network access points. So every NSP will have 3 NAP, and different NSPs will going to form your internet. This is like this only. First computer, second computer, this computer will be connected with your modem. Modem will be connected to your public network. That public network will be going to your internet service provider. Internet service provider will have some router. That router will be connected to another router. Another router will going to send that data from this internet service provider backbone to like this, from this router to your local area network and to another network. So this one is your one NSP, this is your another NSP, and these NSPs are going to connect with each other to form your internet. This is what the internet infrastructure or the internet structure will be. So these are 3 important components of internet structure. Number 1, internet address, protocol stack and packets, and third one is your complete infrastructure. Now we will see different connectivity technologies. The first one is your Ethernet. That internet is used to connect your local area network, that is your Ethernet. Second one is Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee, cellular network, that is your mobile network. High data rate cellular network can be your 3G, 4G, 5G like this, and cellular network can be your GPRS. It can be treated as your GPRS. Then your wireless area network, that is related with your cellular devices. Then manage network for your wireless area network, and last one is your next step, that is your what, different again IoT networking technologies. So these are various connectivity technologies that can be used to develop your IoT application, and that IoT application will have one of this connectivity technology to implement your IoT application like this. So one IoT application will have either internet, or it will have Wi-Fi, or it will have the combination of your Ethernet as well as Wi-Fi as well as Bluetooth, or it may be possible that in single IoT application all these technologies can be included, or only one technology can be included in your IoT application. So let's say if we are having one IoT application installed in our home automation system, and we want to access that home automation from my office, then I must use Wi-Fi at home, and I will use mobile data for my mobile when I will be in my office. So it will be the combination of your Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and your cellular data technology. So these are various what connectivity technologies that can be used while developing any of the IoT application. You can use single technology, or you can use the combination of these technologies. That will be absolutely fine. It depends on the nature of the application. Now we will see various IoT communication models. There are total 4 IoT communication models that can be studying in this further slides. Number 1, request response model. Number 2, publish subscribe model. Number 3, push pull model, and last one is exclusive pair model. So these are 4 IoT communication models that can be used while implementing any of the IoT application, out of which the first one is request response model. The name itself suggests that this particular model will going to work on the methodology of sending the request and receiving the response. So there will be one client, one server, and there will be some resources. Client will going to send request to the server. Server will going to receive this request. This request will be what processes. It will going to check for whether some external resources are required. If required, then it will going to prepare some response, and that particular response will be sent to client. So this is what the request response model is, where client and servers are involved. Client will only going to send the request to server. This is the functionalities of your what server. Server will going to do all this functionality. It will receive the request, it will going to process, it will going to check for resources, it will prepare the response, and it will going to send the response to client. These are the functionalities of your server. So this is what your request response model of your IoT communication that can be used in implementing any of the IoT application. Second one is publish subscribe model. There will be one publisher, there will be one broker. One broker will have different subscribers. Those subscribers again will have some consumers. Publisher will going to send one message or one topic to broker. That message will be published to topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. That means there will be so many topics, there will be so many entities that will going to receive that particular message. For this topic 1, there will be these subscribers. For this topic 2, there will be these subscribers. So whatever message will be received by topic 1 and topic 2, those message will be passed to this particular consumer 1 and consumer 2. Whereas for topic 2, there will only be consumer 3. So this particular message will be passed to your this consumer. So this is what, there will be one publisher and there will be different subscribers. That's why it is named as your publish subscribe model. And the different entities involved in this publish subscribe model will be publisher, broker, subscriber, consumer. These are various entities involved. There will be one message, that message will be passed to different consumers via your subscribers of broker. Third model is your push pull model. The name itself will going to suggest you that it is one of the type of your data structure, push and pull. So The data structure used in your push-pull model will be queue. There will be one publisher. That publisher will going to send the message to queue. First message will be received here. That message, when there will be second message, the first message will be moved towards the consumer one. Likewise, there will be so many messages in the queue. Whichever will be first incoming message, that will be the first message that will going to be pulled from the queue. So the structure will be push pull model because it will going to use your queue. First in, first out, or last in, last out type of your data structure will be used in case of your push pull model. So this is what the structure of your push pull model will be. And last one is exclusive pair model of your IoT communication, in which there will be one client and there will be one server. Client will going to request for the connection setup to server. Client will send one request to server. That request will be related with establishing the connection between client and server. The server will going to accept that request. Once that request will be accepted by the server, server will going to send the response to client that your connection setup request has been accepted. Once this connection has been established between your client and server, in between these two steps, then next step will be client will going to send one message to the server. Server will going to receive that message. Message will be processed. Whatever will be the processing on the server, that particular processing will be done by the server. Then response will be sent to client. Once the response has been received to the client, what will happen? The client will going to send the request of closing the connection between the server. Again, that closing request has been accepted by the server, and server will going to send the message to client that the connection has been closed. So this is your exclusive pair model. The name itself suggests that there are exclusively only two entities, or we can say that there is exclusive pair of entities like your client and server only in case of your exclusive pair model. This is what your exclusive pair model is.